Could the Detroit Lions really land Jadeveon Clowney? Let's talk about it. So recently there has been a rumor going around that's saying the Detroit Lions could potentially land the edge star Jadeveon Clowney from the Houston Texans. Now this would be like a dream thing come true for the Detroit Lions. As we know, our defensive line is already outstanding. Romeo Okwara, Trey Flowers, like we brought in multiple people. We already have a great defensive line, but imagine adding Jadeveon Clowney to that mix. Now, I'm not saying this is likely to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am saying this is a rumor going around that there's a potential that the Detroit Lions could somehow end up with Jadeveon Clowney. Apparently, Jadeveon Clowney needs a new deal. This is a 3-time Pro Bowler, keep that in mind. He has until Monday to reach a long-term agreement, or he'll play in 2019 with a franchise tag. But as we know, franchise tags for teams aren't always the best option. If there is a franchise tag, then Jadeveon Clowney would probably be there for this season. So if they don't come a new deal, Jadeveon Clowney will be there for the season. But it is after this season that Jadeveon Clowney could become available. You see, if Jadeveon Clowney is on that franchise tag, he would be set to become a free agent for 2020, that whole offseason. And that's where the Detroit Lions could potentially make their defensive line the best in the NFL. This is where the Lions find themselves with Ziggy Ansah. If you guys can remember when the Detroit Lions put Ziggy Ansah on that franchise tag, and now he's gone with the Seattle Seahawks. So with that being said, now the Detroit Lions have potential to bring in a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. Now, sure, he's not going to be a cheap contract. He's going to take a lot of their cap space. But, I mean, you got to think, isn't it worth it to bring in that kind of defensive line? Having the best defensive line in football makes you one of the scariest teams in the league for sure. It helps out your defense tremendously. Adding a guy like Jadeveon Clowney would just make you basically unblockable. So now apparently there's also this thought that maybe a guy like Rick Wagner could be going to the Houston Texans because of that huge contract after this season. The Detroit Lions bring Jadeveon Clowney in. They have one of the best defensive lines in football. Then they could go out and look for that offensive line position maybe throughout the draft, most likely, because that would be your best option. And then the Detroit Lions could end up with one of the best defensive lines in football. Now again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's just a rumor that's flowing around, but I thought I would break this news to you guys. Anyways, I hope this happens. I don't know about you guys. I would absolutely love it. Jadeveon Clowney isn't my favorite player in the league, but my goodness, if we had Clowney on this defensive line, we would be absolutely outstanding. Again, this isn't for this season, this is for that 2020 offseason. Anyways, let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you, Brett, for watching, and I'm out.